Flosstube. I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 67. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for stopping by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch and quilting and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back, for all of your wonderful comments, and for all the support you send my way. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I'm coming to you on a Tuesday today. The last time I recorded was last Thursday. And so I am coming to you a little bit earlier because I am leaving tomorrow morning bright and early to head to Missouri. I am attending the cross stitch extravaganza at Quilter Station, and I am super excited. I've never been before. I've never been to Quilter Station. I've never been to this event before, but it is a different retreat than the ones that I have told you about over the last year and a half since I've been doing Flosstube. This retreat is more focused on meeting designers, 5 designers, and they have a class with a kit in each class for us. So I'm so excited because I love all of these designers. I cannot wait to hear them lead a class and tell us about the projects and the kits that they have prepared for us. So in the lineup, there is going to be Blackbird Designs, Teresa Kogut, Liz Matthews, Kathy Barrick, and Chessie and me. So I can't wait to share all that with you all. So please stay tuned for all of those details. You know, I will have photos and I will have a play-by-play of everything that we did over the weekend. But I leave bright and early tomorrow morning on Wednesday, so I am recording a little bit earlier for you. So since I saw you on Thursday, I started a project and I finished it. I started a very small Blackbird design project I'm going to share with you. I have 2 fully finished objects that I was able to finish over the weekend, and I have some giveaways for you, and really no whips because I only worked on 1 or 2 little things. And then I have some little bit of haul to share with you, and that is it. So probably another short and sweet video. So grab your pen and paper, your cross stitch, something to drink, and let's just jump right in. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right into the fully finished objects that I did. As you all know, we have been doing JBW Designs ornament stitch-alongs. And so this started with finally a Farmgirl who is a floss tuber and a designer, and stitchylinda, who is on Instagram. And they reached out to me and we all decided to do a stitch along in the month of August for JBW Design Ornaments. Well, I'm always stitching something JBW Designs, and so even at the end of August I decided I'm going to continue on stitching because the ornaments, because JBW Design Ornaments, because one, I love stitching them, and 2, I just want more to put on my tree or to have on display in my home or on my bookshelves. So here are my finishes. I showed y'all on Thursday these 2. I was working on JBW Designs Christmas in the Round, and I was working on Christmas Bells. So I'm going to tell y'all everything I did on these 2 ornaments. And I learned a few new things this time. I've had some tutorials on finishing on an ornament, like a pillow ornament, and I've done some tutorials on finishing on wooden boards. And again, I'm not a professional finisher. I just truly 100% believe that we can all finish our own projects, and the more that we work and the more that we finish, the better we become at finishing, and we, I guess, perfect our technique. And so there are so many tutorials on Flosstube. I'm backing up, but before I started finishing on my own, I watched Ivana Pfeiffer's Twisted Stitcher tutorials over and over and over again. Like if I wanted to learn how to do a pillow, I would watch that pillow tutorial, ornament tutorial over and over again. Then I practiced on scrap fabric before I started finishing my stitched pieces. And then I started finishing my stitch pieces after I felt kind of comfortable with the scrap pieces of fabric. worked my way up to the stitch pieces. And was it perfect the first time I did it? No. Was I happy with it? Yes, because I did it. I stitched, I finished, I did it all on my own. And then each time I have finished, it's gotten easier, it's gotten better. I still revert back to some of these tutorials. I still go and look for new technique ideas. And I still make many, many mistakes, but I am so happy that I am able to stitch a piece and finish a piece and have it in my home or give it as a gift. And I truly feel that we all can do that. There will come a day when you will feel like there's something that maybe you're not comfortable with finishing. For me right now, that's drums. I want to learn how to finish a drum. So I am going to watch that tutorial on how to finish a drum. But if I feel like after I attempt it and I still don't feel comfortable doing it, then I'll see if someone can either show me how to do it or I may send it to a professional finisher. But that's okay. I just think that we all can try at least once to see if we can do it and hopefully go from there. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you the Christmas bells by JBW Designs Finish first. That's the first one I'm going to show you. So here it is. I just heard something drop off. I think it was a piece of crystal. So I am going to tell y'all all about this after I let you look at it for just a second. And I am so happy with how this turned out. So this is the back of it. It's just on a wooden board. Okay, so let's go over how I finished this piece. So first when I stitched it, I stitched this on 32 count antique white Zweigert linen. I used 2 strands of floss and stitched it over 2. The red, I used Ribbon Red, Classic Colorworks, and the green I used English Ivy, which is also Classic Colorworks. So I stitched it, and then I started thinking about how I wanted to finish it. Sometimes I will know before I stitch a piece how I plan or intend to finish it. Sometimes it's not until after I finish it that I decide. With this one, I really thought that I was going to finish it into a pillow ornament because that is how I finished some of Judy's other patterns from last year. But this one, I thought that it was big enough that it could be on its own on a wooden board. So here's what I did. I had this board from Stitch Etc. Stitch Etc. is owned by Kim Gavlik. She makes wooden boards for finishing your products, cross-stitch products. She has a Facebook page where you can go and look at all of the boards. She also has a brick and mortar store that is a cross-stitch store, and she is in Farmington, Missouri. You can call her on the phone and place an order, or you can go on Facebook and order the boards. But the cross-stitch items, of course, you can purchase directly on the phone, and the same with the boards. You can order directly over the phone. So here's what I did. I took 2 pieces of sticky board, and I measured this board. This board is, I believe, 6 by 6 inches, excluding the handle. So this part of it is 6 by 6. So I cut the bigger piece at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I wanted to be able to see a little bit of the board behind the sticky board. So I had this amazing French General fabric, Christmas fabric, and it's called Joy Noel. It is out of print. You cannot find it anymore, but I still had some scrap pieces, and I am using every inch of this fabric that I have because I love it so much, and I wish I had more of it. But this was not, I did not have enough to finish a pillow, so I'm using the backing of the sticky board. So I cut the sticky board. I used a piece of quilting batting behind it, and then I wrapped the fabric around it and I glued the corners. I'm going to show you the glue that I used in just a minute. I changed the glue that I'm using from the last time I showed y'all. I am so happy with how my corners turned out on this one. So I did this bigger piece, and then I did my stitched piece. And I wanted it to be really close and tight to the stitching. I didn't want a lot of white border around it because I really wanted you to see this fabric. Because again, I love this fabric, and I wanted it to be like a zoomed in photo, if you will, of the stitched piece. So I cut the board where I wanted it to go, or the size I wanted it to be. And I put 2 pieces of batting behind the stitched piece because I like for it to be just a little bit more puffy. And then I glued the back to the back of the board. And I had these picks from Hobby Lobby. These are from this year, these picks. So I cut the picks and glued those on. And I had this ribbon in my stash. It's just like a little cream burlappy ribbon, not burlap, more cream linen type ribbon. And I have 2 of these. One's navy blue, the Nutcrackers, and one was white. I found those at an antique store a couple of years ago, and I think I got them 2 for $1. And I felt like he was the perfect topper for this. It's funny because when I started out the day and I was going to finish this piece, I thought, oh, of course I'm going to put bells on this. It needs bells. But then I saw Mr. Nutcracker and I decided he needed to go on here. Very happy with how this turned out. Very happy with this pattern. It is such a quick stitch. I love the shades of red. I love all the motifs and the bells. It's just very clean. I'm very happy with how this turned out. So what I did this time that was a little bit different than last time is I did not use hot glue. Usually in the past, what I have told y'all is I would use a hot glue gun to glue the fabric to the back of the board, of the sticky board. And what I found is it made the folds thicker. I couldn't get a smooth, the fabric wouldn't lay flat or as smooth as I wanted it to. Therefore, when I pieced it all together, it was wobbly or wavy or not a smooth glue finish. So what I did this time is I used the Aleene's, am I saying that right? Aleene's tacky glue. And what I like about this, and I've used this before, but what I like about this when you're dealing with fabric, you get it on your fingers too, but what I can do is I can smooth it out and make it as thin and as smooth as I want it to. It also made my corners not thick and goopy. So my corners were a lot cleaner this time. The only time I used hot glue was to attach the from the wooden piece to this outer board, sticky board. And I did not need a lot because again, the hot glue wants to dry thicker. So I just used a little bit of hot glue to attach it together. And then I used the hot glue up here to attach all these things. So that is what I did with the glue, the Aleene's glue. I just found that when I start first by turning in my corners so I can smoothen that corner and make it lay nice and flat. And so I do all 4 corners and then I pick 2 sides, if it's top or bottom or left and right, but I pick opposite sides and I fold those over first. And then I do the other 2 sides. And when I pinch in my corners, I really pinch them in and lay them flat. But it doesn't take a lot of glue, but really start smoothing it in. And what I mean by that is I would just smooth the glue behind the fabric. And so that's, I think, made a big difference, not only with my corners, but it kept it very clean. The other thing I like about the tacky glue is that when the glue dries, or if you make a little boo-boo with the glue and you wipe it off, it dries clear. It goes on white so you can see it, but it dries super clear. So this is Christmas Bells by JBW Designs, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So that is one of my FFOs. My other FFO is, oh, and I am giving away, in today's giveaway, the Christmas Bells. So that is going in our stack of giveaways. That is my copy, but there are no marks on it. Clean copy. Okay, the next one is JBW's Christmas in the Round. This one you can see she stitched it in red. I chose to stitch mine in green, and here's my finish. So this is my third round finish, I believe, or no, my second round finish. So I do feel like this time it got a little bit easier. The first one I did was JBW's Summer in the Round. So what I did is I used English Ivy Classic Colorworks to stitch the piece. I used the same linen as the Christmas Bells. So this was stitched on 32 count antique white Zweigart. And I used 2 strands of floss over 2. Look at that little church. And the same thing with this, I really wanted to get up super close to the stitching. I did not want to leave a lot of border. This is also another wooden board from Stitch Etc. All of her boards come in many different colors. So let me back up what I did on this. I did the same fabric. This is another scrap piece of fabric I had from French General, Joy Noel, and it was from maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it is really long gone. I wish they would make something like that again. Okay, so I did a double circle mount on this one. So the first one was with the fabric, and then the second one was with this stitched piece. The same as before. I wanted it to be as close to the, well, I wanted to see as much of the fabric as you could, but I had to be careful with this piece because I didn't want you to see a lot of the green on that fabric because it's a completely different shade of green. But fortunately with this piece of the fabric, it did not have a lot of green showing. So I did the first cutout, I did this one, and Judy on her Flosstube will tell you how she finishes her circle pieces. So great tutorial, she talks you through it. The first thing I did is I took a photocopy of my stitched piece. I laid it down and made a photocopy and then made a template from that photocopy. From there, that's how I came with the sizes for the 2 circles. So cut my sticky board. I decided to use sticky board. She uses comic board, I believe. So I used sticky board because that's all I had. And I really wanted to finish these this weekend. I didn't want to wait to get supplies. So I cut my 2 circles. I did my quilt batting because I like mine to be a little bit puffy. And then you lace the back of it, of the circle fabric. You do a running stitch behind it, and then you pull it tight, and then you lace the back of it, and it just gets it tighter and tighter and tighter, and it shrinks it in. So I made double circles. I had this plaid bow here in my stash. I got it from Hobby Lobby. And I had that snowman charm in my stash. I just loved his stomach. You see how it has those swirly twirly things in it? I thought that he matched the motifs in this pattern. And I love the way it turned out. So I used the Eileen's glue on this as well, the same as with the square. I did the square one first, the Christmas bells first. Then I did this one. I can really play and mold the fabric with the glue because it's not hot, so I'm not burning my finger off. And then 2, it's just it's almost like decoupaging, so I could just really smooth it out and play with it a little bit more. And then I glued the bow on and then glued Mr. Snowman on. So this is Christmas in the Round by JBW Designs, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Judy. You just do an amazing job with your stitch your patterns with your motifs, with the motifs within motifs. I just love it, love everything about it. I'm going to let you see this a little bit more so you can see all those motifs. The little bow, the ice skates, the house, the heart, the church, the reindeers, the mitten. Just so many little motifs just popping out. So super happy with how this turned out. I like, again, how clean and smooth it is. I'm very happy with how that Eileen's glue makes such a difference. I did hot glue the red, the outer circle onto the board, but again, I did not need to use a lot of it. So this is my second FFO. So 2 finishes, and I'm continuing stitching JBW Christmas Ornaments. If you'd like to join me, the hashtag is JBW Ornament SAL, and that way I can see what you're stitching. And tag me, tag finally a Farmgirl and stitchylinda if you're on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're stitching, and I like to share with other people too, so people can see all the creative ways and patterns. There's so many patterns that Judy has out. So I'm also going to link Judy's Flosstube below, so if you want to go and watch some of her finishing, some of her other previous videos. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So let's go into, so I did those 2 this weekend. That took one afternoon. I did those 2, but it was so much fun. And then for some reason, I really had to start this on Friday. I think I started it. So Thursday, I believe, was September 1st, and September is Sampler September. And if you'd like to stitch an a reproduction sampler, no, I'm doing it wrong again. Sampler September is for original sampler stitched designs. Sampler Soiree is for reproduction samplers. So what I did on Friday is I started from this book. It's called And Blossom as the Rose by Blackbird Designs. I got this at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City when I was there for the meet and greet a couple weeks ago. But I started and finished this little design right here. Let me show it to you. This is, that pattern is called, and in here there are some drum patterns too, but that one is called Lily of the Valley. Beautiful little sampler. And it is the Lily of the Valley, and it is stitched with Weeks Dye Works floss, and that's what I used. So here's my start and my finish. And I love this. I've spent yesterday and today looking for a little frame. Have not found it. I know what I want. I want like an antique silver or gold frame or a pewter looking frame. But anyway, that is the adorable little bitty finish. I think it measures 4 inches by 4 inches. Let me see. I think it's 4 inches by 4 inches. Yes, just a little under 4 inches. So it measures 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I tried a 4x4 frame and it's just not quite big enough because of the way the frame, the outer edge of the frame, it covers up part of the stitching. So pretty. I stitched this on 37 count Russian tea cake by Legacy Linen. I used 1 strand of floss over 2. I absolutely love all of these feminine colors, very delicate, very dainty. I stitched the initial A, that is over 1. And right over here by the bird, I must have had something on my finger because I had wasn't there on the first day I stitched it, but on day 2, I had a little black smudge right by the bird and I couldn't get it off. The more I tried to get it off, the more I smudged it. So I thought, well, let me just add another little doodad or something down here, a little motif. That didn't work because it just didn't seem to fit. So I stitched over 1 a G for Gray's initial. So a little G over here and a little A right there. So we've got a sweet little mother-daughter sampler, teeny tiny. Absolutely love how this turned out. It is stunning in person. And here are all the colors. These are all of the Weeks Dye Works colors. This is one of my new favorite colors. This, oh, hang on. It's called, I think it's called Sanguine. I can never say that right. A nice soft pink. Straw, which is sort of a yellow. Really pretty. The bird is stitched in Confederate gray, which is a nice silvery, and then lots of greens and golds. So what a sweet little design. I'm so happy with it. I did not plan on stitching this all weekend. I did not think I would start and finish it in just, I think, 2 days. But once I started, and I was watching The Crown, so that, you know, it's and Flosstube. It's amazing how when you're watching something that you really enjoy, it's like before you realize that 3 hours have gone by and you made a lot of progress. So I made a lot of progress. While the boys were watching football, I was up in my sewing room and stitching away, and I am so happy. But it was like a good book. I couldn't put it down, even though it was midnight. I was like, I just need 5 more stitches. I need to get this done. And I don't know why, but I did. I don't know why. I felt like I had to get it done. And the border matched up the first time. You can see the flower, the bottom flower, and these little eyelet stitches, Smyrna stitches. First time I've done a Smyrna stitch. And I just love the depth that it gives that border. So there are 12 Smyrna stitches, Smyrna crossover stitches. And then the border is in 2 different colors. So this is one color and this is another. And then the flowers at the bottom are different colors. So that was my start and my finish of the Lily of the Valley by Blackbird Designs. And it was a sweet, fun, quick stitch. In fact, I think I might stitch it again. I think I'm going to stitch another one for me to keep and one for Gray to keep, so that we each have one now that she's not living at home anymore. And I know that it's a quick stitch. I can stitch that up again. So that was fun. That was my big whip for the weekend, my big start for Sampler September. And then the only other little bitty start that I had this weekend was, and it's still in my hoop because I got the hoop just the way I like it, so I didn't want to take it out. But French Country Santa by JBW Designs. I started this one. And here he is. I started him last night. So I started the outline on him. I am right here. I started in the middle, so I'm right here on that band. So you can see that band right there. And yeah, so this is the front of Santa, and this is his sack. So cute. And I'm using ribbon red. I decided to stitch this on some of the scrap pieces that I had left over from the Russian tea cake, from Legacy Linen that I had from the Blackbird that I just showed you. I had a piece, an odd piece, and since Santa would fit just fine on that odd shape that I had. So because he's on 37 count, I am stitching 1 strand of floss over 2. And I think this is going to be beautiful. So this is Russian Tea Cake Linen by Legacy Linen. I'm using Ribbon Red by Classic Color Works, and it is being stitched 1 over 2. So I can tell that's going to be a quick stitch. Most of those little ornaments are. Those are all of my whips for the weekend. So, yay. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners from the last 2 videos. See, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I did a whip parade, and it was a really long video. I did a whip parade, a kit parade, a life update, a college update, a meet and greet update. It was a really long video. So I wanted to give everybody a little bit longer to watch that video and comment. So I have the winners from that video that I'm going to go ahead and announce now. So here they are. The first one is these 3 Prairie Schooler postcards. And this goes to Joyce Clouser, C-L-O-W-S-E-R, Joyce Clouser. The second one is this Lizzie Kate Spring Smalls. This goes to Corinne, C-O-R-I-N-N-E, Burnham, B-U-R-N-H-A-M. The third is the Country Cottage Needleworks Christmas Cookies. This goes to Kim Jewell, J-E-W-E-L-L. The fourth one is Burr, It's Cold Outside by Brenda Gervais. This goes to Laura. Laura, I'm going to spell your last name. Zuniga, Z-U-N-I-G-A, Zuniga. I'm so sorry. And then 3 winners for my floss ring and floss drops that I made for the meet and greet. Those 3 winners are, I can't read my handwriting, Carmen Mack, M-A-C-K, so Carmen Mack, Margaret Miller, M-I-L-L-A-R, and Connie Erickson. Connie Erickson. So if I called your name, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. I will get these in the mail to you next week when I get back in town. So those are all of the winners from my whip parade. So the winners from last week, from episode number 66, are the following names. Same with the others. Just email me and I'll get these in the mail to you next week. Set M, Bee in My Bonnet stitch card from the Fat Quarter Shop. This goes to Dinah Janke, G-A-N-K-E. Number 2 is Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches. This goes to Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitcher. Zan also has a floss tube, so just so you know, go check her out. But Zan. Number 3 is from the Fat Quarter Shop. This is Lori Holt's support group quilt pattern. This goes to Christina Harden, H-A-R-D-E-N. Number 4 is support group, cross stitch pattern and floss needle minder, excuse me. Thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. This goes to Carol Omer, M-O-M-E-R, Carol Omer. And number 5 from the Nebby Needle, thank you, Bonnie. This is a new release, Gather Ye Acorns. This goes to Susan Hanline, H-A-N-E-L-I-N-E, Susan. Number 6 is from a viewer. This is a Blackbird Designs, Beneath the Sunlit Sky. This goes to Deanna Grove, Deanna Grove. And number 7 from the Fat Quarter Shop, 2 patterns of their new typeface series. I have 2 winners for this. The first one is Lisa Clark. Lisa Clark. The second winner is Creatively Chimaine, C-H-I-M-A-I-N-E. Creatively Chimaine. So congratulations, everyone. Email me and I will get this in the mail to you all when I return from Missouri next week. So I'll do today's giveaways in just a few minutes. Let's continue with haul. I did not have very much haul this week because I just saw y'all Thursday. And I think I've been a little good. I mean, I've been very well behaved. I have not bought a lot of stuff lately. So I think it's because I know I'm going out of town this week. So we'll see how next week looks. But I did order from Finally a Farmgirl's Etsy shop some of her patterns. I ordered Beulah and Greta. This is her latest, and it says, "Coffee and friends make the best brew." And I love that. So I ordered this, and Christy and I text often, and she said, "Oh, I want to send you my new pattern." And I said, "I've already purchased it." And she said, "Well, I'd like to send you one for a giveaway." So thank you, Chrissy. She sent us a PDF of this. So either I will forward it to you or Chrissy will. But I can't wait to stitch this. She said that it was a fun stitch, and I just love those two friends walking with their coffee and walking their frog. It's so cute. So this will be one of the giveaways today. So Beulah and Greta, she sent us two other patterns. Another one will be in the giveaway today. She sent Scarecrow Jack Mini, and I love that button on his hat. And look at the mice, so cute. Matilda mice on there. And then we have, I purchased this a while back, but she sent this one also for a giveaway. This will be a future giveaway, but I already have this one in my stash. Miss Claus Bakery. And I just love Mrs. Claus and all of those sweet little fun things in there. The little mouse on the shelf, the broom, the clock, all the baked goodies, her glasses, her hair, everything about it is so precious. So Mrs. Claus Bakery, that will be in a giveaway probably next week. So thank you, Chrissy. I'm going to link Chrissy's Flosstube channel below and her Etsy shop below. She has so many beautiful patterns. She has a lot of new releases that came out last week. She has a new nativity that came out. It's stunning. It is so sweet. She is not only a kind and caring person, but she's extremely talented with her stitching, her floss tubes, and her designing. So go and check out her shop, and I'll link it below. And then my other haul that I have is I got Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow from Carriage House Samplings. This is a series, lots in the series. There's houses at Hawk Run Hollow, the village, the shores, Christmas, the farms, spring, map, a year, Halloween, all at Hawk Run Hollow. I got Autumn. And Stitch with Melissa and I are going to, she's already started hers, and I told her that I'll probably start it here and not anytime soon, but soon enough. And I just love this. A lot of people have been stitching it. Olivia with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts is almost finished, and I'm going to do like she did. I think I'm going to take out the Halloween and move these two up so that it is truly just autumn, not Halloween themed. So that is the one pattern I got this week other than the PDF downloads. And then I've been thinking since the whip parade that I needed a better system of keeping track of what I'm stitching on, all of my, what I call my project notes. I have a notebook that I can write everything down, but I don't always have the notebook with me because, as you saw, I have a lot of whips. So I really felt like I needed a system or something to put in my project bags with the notes on there so that when I pull it out, it is very quickly, I can see, I don't have to flip through a book, I don't have to do any of those things. So I created a little postcard or a note card for me. It's still a work in progress because the color I chose and the color that was printed when I picked it up from the printer is not the same. But I made several note cards, and I just titled it Project Info. I made a space for patterns, designer, fabric, floss, the date I started it, and the date I finished it. And I had all of that information put on a note card. It's just a 4x6 or 4, actually I think this is 4 1/4 by 5 note card. And I even put my little Proper Stitcher logo down there. But it's a work in progress. I'm gonna figure out the coloring and the paper and the printing. Probably need to I just did this super fast so that I could have notes in my projects. But anyway, I'm decided to come up with some sort of system that worked for me, and we're gonna give this a try and see how it goes. But I made these note cards. I have about 200 of them, so I'll probably have a few of these in a future giveaway once I figure out the coloring. But project info, note cards that I'm going to keep in my project bags. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I'll check back with you and let you know how that works for keeping up. I guess you'll notice when I'm opening each bag, I'll be able to remember exactly what I have in that bag. But other than that, I've pulled all of my projects I'm going to take with me. I'm going to take Nottingham with me, figure that out. Someone messaged me or commented on one of my photos that Kathy Barrick had an updated color list on her Instagram a couple of months ago. So I went and found that list and printed it, and I'm going to figure out what colors I need to get to and compare with what I already have. So I think she wanted to update the list with MPI silks and not the Glorianas, because Glorianas are really hard to find right now. So I'm going to take Nottingham with me. I am taking my Blackbird design and Tuwala Goodnight. I'm going to take Liz Matthews of Butterfly Cloche and the Be Kind, Be True, and my JBW Designs. That's enough for this retreat, because from what I understand, you get a kit in each class, and some people start the class project or the kit that you're gifted. So we'll see. I might do that when we're there. I think the classes are over at like 5 o'clock, and then we'll probably eat dinner and stitch at night. So I have no idea what to expect, but I am super excited and I can't wait. And I know it's going to be a long day tomorrow, but it's going to be worth it. I'm going to drive and pick up Kim Gavlik in Farmington, Missouri, so I get to see her shop, even though very briefly. I will probably get there at about 2 o'clock. It's about a 7-hour drive from Knoxville, so I'll probably get there about 1:30 or 2. I plan and hope to leave at 7 in the morning. And I gain an hour because I'm Eastern time and she's Central time. So I'm going to drive over there, pick her up, probably shop in her store for a little bit, and then we are going to drive the rest of the way to the hotel in Kansas City. And that way we can get a good night's sleep, wake up rested, and I think the doors open at the retreat at 2:30. So I know it's going to be a long day, but I really just want to push on through so we can have the whole day on Thursday and not feel like we have traveling still to do. So that's my plan this weekend. Okay, so this week's giveaways. Here's how it works. Be a subscriber. We're almost to 10,000 subscribers, guys. Once we get there, which will either be in a week or 2, maybe 3, we're just about 120 subscribers away. Once we get there, I have so many fabulous giveaways for you, because that is my way of thanking you for supporting me. And I just am having a great time connecting with each and every one of you and sharing my cross-stitch and quilting journey with you. So subscribe to the channel. Here's how the giveaway works. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and tell me what number you want to be entered to win. So this week's question is, since we're talking about cross-stitch finishings, since I finished 2, tell me what is your biggest struggle with finishing cross-stitch pieces, or what do you find to be the most intimidating? Just something to do with your journey of finishing pieces. So if you want, share that with me. Just leave me a comment below. So here are our prizes for today. And let me start with number 1. These are a little bit out of order. Okay, number 1 is courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop, and it is a quilt pattern with the quilt block foundation paper. We have 3 sizes. We have 6 inches, 5 inches, and 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. They sent me 2 of these. I'm using 1 in today's video. The other one will be in a future video. So this is number 1, this whole package, number 1. Number 2 is also courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop, and it is a cross-stitch pattern. It's called You Are the Boss, and it says, you are the boss of your own quilt. And this is from It's So Emma, Be in My Bonnet, Lori Holt. Love all those colors. It's a DMC colors. That's number 2. Number 3 is from Bonnie with the Nebby Needle. This is also a new release this season, Joy to the World. That is number 3. Number 4 is my copy from Judy that she sent me, but this is, I just used this copy, JBW Designs Christmas Bells. Number 5 is from Chrissy with Finally a Farm Girl, Beulah and Greta. So cute. Beulah and Greta. And last is number 6 from Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, Scarecrow Jack Mini. That is number 6. Those 2 will be PDF emails, so instantly email those to you. So other than that, that is all I have this week for you. I will come back to you next week on Thursday, so that gives you a little bit extra time to watch the video, and I will give you all the details of the Quilter Station Cross Stitch Extravaganza retreat. And tomorrow is Wednesday, so StitchCon signups are tomorrow. So if you're interested in attending StitchCon, go to their website, and all of the registration information is on their website. So until then, I'll see you all next Thursday. Have a great weekend.